Ambassador Zixtal clicked his mandibles in amusement as he reviewed the latest intelligence reports from the Sol system. The third planet, Earth as the primitives called it, remained stubbornly silent despite 3 standard galactic years of increasingly aggressive demands from the hegemony. "Still no response from the humans?" asked his aide Vorthak, whose scaled hide rippled with barely contained mirth. "Nothing but radio silence," Zixtal replied, his 4 eyes gleaming with predatory satisfaction. "Their communications networks continue broadcasting their primitive entertainment, but they've ignored every ultimatum we've sent." The galactic hegemony had discovered Earth purely by accident when a mining survey detected unusual energy signatures from the system. What they found was a backwater world populated by a species that had barely achieved faster-than-light travel. Most amusing of all, these humans appeared to possess no significant military fleet beyond a handful of exploration vessels and orbital defense platforms that wouldn't challenge a single hegemony cruiser. The High Command had initially planned to simply claim the system and relocate the indigenous population to a reservation world, standard procedure for primitive species. But Earth's location made it strategically valuable. Sitting at the convergence of 3 major hyperspace lanes, it would serve as an ideal staging ground for the hegemony's expansion into the galaxy's outer rim. When the humans failed to respond to the first relocation order, the hegemony found it more irritating than concerning. When they ignored the second ultimatum, backed by a show of force from a destroyer squadron, it became insulting. By the third demand, accompanied by orbital bombardment of an uninhabited moon as demonstration, their silence had transformed into a galaxy-wide joke. "Perhaps they're too primitive to understand our communications," Vorthak suggested, though his tone suggested he didn't believe it himself. "Impossible," Zixtal snorted. "Our translation algorithms are perfect. They understand every word. They're simply too cowardly to respond." He gestured toward the tactical display showing the Sol system. "Deploy the siege fleet. 60 capital ships should be more than sufficient to convince them." 3 days later, Fleet Admiral Krexnos dropped his massive dreadnought and accompanying battle group out of hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system. The humans had to see them coming. Their primitive sensor networks weren't completely useless, yet still no response came from the blue-green world. "This is Fleet Admiral Krexnos of the Galactic Hegemony," he broadcast on all frequencies. "You have ignored our lawful demands for evacuation. You have 48 standard hours to begin relocation proceedings or face military action. Respond immediately." The response, when it finally came, surprised everyone on the bridge. "This is Admiral Sarah Chen of the Earth Defense Force. Your demands are rejected. Sol system is under human protection. Withdraw immediately." Krexnos's reptilian features twisted into what his species considered laughter. "Earth Defense Force? Scans show fewer than 50 vessels in your entire system, most of them cargo haulers. Against our 60 dreadnoughts, have you lost your primitive minds?" "Admiral," his tactical officer interrupted, "I'm detecting multiple hyperspace signatures incoming. Large formations." "Reinforcements from home?" Krexnos asked, though something cold was beginning to form in his chest cavity. "No, sir. The signatures don't match hegemony drive systems. They're coming from everywhere." On the main viewer, space began to shimmer. First dozens, then hundreds, then thousands of hyperspace windows tore open around the hegemony fleet. Ships poured through, sleek vessels unlike anything in the hegemony databases, their hulls gleaming with energy signatures that made the dreadnought sensors scream warnings. "How many?" Krexnos whispered. "Still counting, sir. 5,000, 8,000, 12,000 and climbing." From Earth, Admiral Chen's voice crackled across the communications array, and now her tone carried dark amusement. "You seem surprised, Admiral. Did you really think we were alone out here?" More ships continued emerging from hyperspace. Massive, carrier-class vessels that dwarfed the hegemony dreadnoughts. Sleek destroyer formations that moved with predatory grace. And everywhere, the distinctive angular profiles that the hegemony would later learn belonged to humanity's true fleet. "Impossible," Krexnos breathed. "Our intelligence..." Your intelligence saw exactly what we wanted you to see, Chen interrupted. Earth isn't our homeworld, Admiral. It's our vacation spot. A nice, quiet place where we pretend we're still a single-planet species. She paused, and when she spoke again, her voice carried the weight of stellar empires. Humanity claimed this galaxy 3,000 years ago. We just never bothered to tell anyone. The tactical display now showed over 50,000 human vessels in a sphere formation around the hegemony fleet. Each one was broadcasting target locks. The thing about humans, Admiral, is that we're excellent at patience. We watched your little hegemony expand, conquering primitive species who couldn't defend themselves. We took notes. We learned your weaknesses, and we waited. Krexnos found his voice. What? What do you want? What we've always wanted. To be left alone. Your hegemony will withdraw from all occupied systems. Conquered species will be returned to their homeworlds with reparations. And you'll never again threaten a world that can't defend itself. And if we refuse? The space around Earth suddenly blazed with artificial stars as thousands of human weapons powered up simultaneously. The energy readings made the hegemony, Dreadnought's reactor, look like a candle. Admiral, Chen said softly, you came here with 60 ships thinking you could threaten our favorite planet. I have 50,000 ships here right now, and they're just the ones we keep parked nearby for emergencies. Her voice hardened. Refuse our terms and find out why the galaxy should have feared Earth's silence instead of mocking it. In the end, Krexnos didn't refuse. Neither did the Hegemony High Command when he delivered humanity's ultimatum. Some silences, they learned too late, aren't born from weakness. They're born from the patient confidence of apex predators who no longer need to prove their strength to anyone foolish enough to test it.